ones, empaths. We met these individuals in our lives. They come into our lives at a certain time. And ultimately, we tried our best. We tried our utmost to make a relationship work. You know, from our side of things, we loved them wholeheartedly. We showered them with praise, admiration, care. We were courteous. We done our all. We done our all for these individuals. And we didn't reciprocate. They didn't reciprocate what we done for them. They took it for granted. They thought that they could get this anywhere. They thought they could get this from anyone. Not initially. Initially, they were over the moon. They thought, I've got myself a real source of supply. A real primary source of supply. They made us out their primary target. And, you know, we were involved with them. And things got more serious. Might have moved in together. But they never really took us for what we were. You know, what I mean is they took us for granted. And the longer that you stayed with them, they started to think to themselves when their friends were around them and they were looking at their friends' relationships. They were looking at their family members' relationships, their flying monkeys. And they began to think, I want something else. You know? That's what they started to think to themselves. No matter all of the love that we gave them, all of the care that we gave them, some of us really helped them and picked them up from the scrap heap. We didn't find them in a good place. We didn't find them in a good place. They were maybe going through a real bad situation in life. I've read in the comment section as well similar stories to mine where the narcissist had health problems and we entered their lives and we kind of were the missing link to their life. That's how they felt with us initially. We were that missing link that provided security for them, provided them solace, like a sanctuary for them to be themselves, not be themselves because we know they wear a mask, but for the face that they showed us, the side that they showed us. And some of them even told us, I'm so thankful that you're in my life, I'm so thankful, I'm so grateful you're in my life. They told us all this stuff. But as time ticked along, the more and more they started to take us for granted. The more and more we'd done, the more and more they soaked it up as if it was just something we need to do. That we're not doing it out of the love from inside us. That we have to do these things. And they made it that way. And they got that grass is greener syndrome or shiny object syndrome in their heads. And they didn't realize that you was the real gift. You was the real jewel in their life that was sent their way as mercy. I believe we were sent their way as mercy from the Most High. I believe we were sent their way from the universe as mercy to be in their lives, to give them that final chance to correct the error of their ways. But they didn't see it that way. They had the shiny object syndrome and they saw other people and they might have even started courting these new supplies, possible new supplies, new sources of supplies when we were still around. They might have cheated on us. And eventually come the time when They walked away from us. But one thing I want you to understand about this, about them walking away, is it's their loss, not yours. See, they walked away from the jewel, the diamond, the ruby, the precious stone that you are. They walked away from that and they went over to their shiny object, only to realize it's like a tin can or something like that. Or they went over to that greener grass, and like the commenter said, they got over to the greener grass and it was astroturf. And it was at this moment they got the realization, and they started going through the process of realizing what they'd lost within us. And yeah, we went through those days initially where we begged for them back, didn't we? And at that time, they didn't realize. At that time, they were still in disillusionment, if that's the right word. They were disillusioned, if that is the right word. I hope you understand what I mean. By this new supply that they'd got, this tin can, this astroturf, and they thought they had the best thing since sliced bread. But they was in this. They was delusional. They was delusional, and they didn't realize. So when we immediately at the beginning were doing all the chasing and the begging for them back, and we were heartbroken, not eating, not sleeping, going through the trenches, the real pain. We've all been there, haven't we? Those days when you can't, you can't sleep. You know, those days when you struggle to sleep. But eventually, you know, maybe you start to, after maybe you get disrupted sleep through the night. But those days start to turn into when you have a full night's rest. And eventually you get a full night's rest, so it's like you're healing. Even before you know it, you're healing. And you're becoming empowered. And you aimed for more. You aimed for higher from this situation. You began to realize that this person was not meant for you. Some of you, it takes longer than others. Some of you have taken a long time to realize. It took me a little time to realize the reality of the situation. I was dealing with a narcissist. Some of us awaken to the fact we're dealing with a narcissist sooner than others. But back to the reason of this video is as they walked out on you and they're in their delusion of thinking it's great, eventually that comes crashing down on them. And they realize very quickly that they left their precious jewel, which is you, for something that's trash. You see, most people in this world are out for themselves. Most people in this world will cheat, lie, steal, tell you what you want to think. Yes, men. Yes, women. They won't be truthful to you. They won't be honest. They won't be loyal. It's very rare to have those qualities that you possessed. And they realize it's not all brighter in the world without you. You was actually their beacon of light. You was actually the one that was sent their way, that gave them light in this world. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help brother out. It will take 2 seconds of your time. But you was that one that was really their mercy. And they walked out on it. And they know they've lost. This is the thing. You have to let the process kick in. And I wish some of this stuff that I know now I knew back then. Because all those days when you're chasing and you're trying to reach out and you're trying to lead a horse to water but you can't make them drink it kind of thing. And you're trying to make them understand what you have. You're trying to rekindle. I wish that I knew what I knew now. But things happen for a reason, and we learn things gradually. And I trust in the process of God and the universe that things happen the right way for me, that it did. Because perhaps if I knew what I knew now, and I knew that they were such an evil entity, maybe I would have done something through reactive abuse in it, and I would have ended up in a worse situation. So it's probably good that at the time when I was still in contact with them, I didn't know the severity of the situation. I didn't know the severity that I'm dealing with someone so toxic. So it's kind of like a protection. It protects us from us actually reacting out in a bad way. We might react in a bad way if we knew all the information at one time, all the information that we know now. If we knew that back at the beginning, when they first cut us off, or if we knew everything, maybe we would have reacted in such a mad way. It wouldn't have been bad for us. You never know. Love can do crazy things. You can do crazy things when you're in love. But they're in a place now, and some of these people have been in this place for decades even. They've gone on from supply to supply. They found new supplies after new supplies, and they've tried to make these new supplies into you. They've been looking for you in every single person they encounter, and they don't find it. And you have to trust this. If you give in to the fact that you see them with someone else and you think, oh, they're happy, they're with someone else, it means they're doing better now. Don't believe the illusion. That's what they set out for you to believe. But when you see beneath the veil, you understand that they're not happy without you. You understand, if you know your worth, it all comes down to ignoring the negative voices that you hear. Not voices, but like the negative, everyone's got a thought process, a conscience and stuff. Like, what do people call it? The self-accusing spirit. And everyone's got that. And some people have evil ones, like, well, not evil, but negative ones that will make you feel bad about yourself, will make you feel, if something happens, you'll look at yourself and you'll start looking inwardly and blaming yourself and stuff like that. You don't want to have that mindset. This is why I make the videos that I do, because I want you to know your worth. And everything you stood for is so rare, and they can't find it anywhere else. Believe you me, they can't find it anywhere else. They struggle to actually find anything close to what they had with you. They struggle to find anything close to what they had with you. Let alone what you had. Anything even close, they struggle to find. There's no people that are so loyal like empaths, that are so kind and so loving and so pure and so honest like empaths and chosen ones. That's why I call you chosen ones, because I believe that we're chosen to have these abilities and to have this care and consideration and courteousness and to be how we are. We've been blessed to have this spirit. We've been blessed to have this way, analytical side of viewing. We've been blessed to have this mindset, this soul. We've been blessed to have this, because a narcissist is not chosen by God. A psychopath is not chosen by God. A sociopath is not chosen by God. A toxic individual in general is not chosen by God. And what I'm saying is, it's up to God who he chooses, but we can see that there's a difference. You know, you can differentiate the difference between us and them. There's a big difference in our character. So when you add all this to the mix, and they went out there and then they walked away from us, this is something that they have to regret for the rest of their lives. This is something that they will regret for the rest of their lives. I don't care if they've gone off and got married. I don't care if they've gone off and had children. They're just trying to plaster up the cracks from the pain that they feel inside, deep in the core of them. They won't find another one of us. They won't find another one of us at all. You don't compare yourself to anybody else. Don't think, oh, this one's got more money, so that means that I'm like this, or this one's got a certain feature, or this one's got a nice car and I didn't have a nicer car. Don't think about any of that. Your value is unique and is set to you. There's not another you, right? And by there not being another you, they can't replace you. They will never replace you. So they live in regret of walking out on you. And it's their loss. Let them live in it. Let them bathe in it. Yeah? It's their loss. They walked out on you. And when you understand that they walked out on you, you didn't walk out on them. You tried to make things work, if anything like that. They walked out on you. And as I've mentioned in other videos about dumper's remorse kicks in. All of these things kick in, but they've got a very big pride and a very big ego. So it finds it hard for them to actually come up to you and tell you, you know, if you do hear from them again, it's hard for them to come and tell you the truth and the honest approach where they're saying, yo, you know what, I messed up. You see, an empath, a chosen one, if they did, because we will make mistakes, right? If we did make a mistake, we would try and rectify that situation, and we might go back to the person and say, listen, I'm so sorry, I made a mistake, and at least try and leave it on separate on better terms, even if you still do separate. But you would be clear about your feelings and say, look, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that. And that's what we would do in the situation that we're feeling. These lot don't do that. These lot have in their spirit and their soul, deep in the core of them, the dumper's remorse, all of the pain that they're going through, realizing they can't find someone like you. And they go through this, but they keep it to themselves, and it begins to destroy them. It actually destroys them from the inside out. It destroys them. So just understand that they walked out on you. The power's in your hands. They left the precious stone that you are for some shiny object, for some trashy bit of trash. And then when they get over there, they know they're with trash. When they find someone new, don't compare yourself to that new person and say, oh, that person is better than me. No, they're not better than you. That person probably even knew about you and them. That's the thing. That new person is trash. That new person probably knew about you and them. We wouldn't do that. If we knew that they were seeing someone, we wouldn't get involved with them. We wouldn't get involved with them unless we knew, oh, look, all right, you're cutting it off, or we wouldn't get involved in that. At least most of us wouldn't get involved in that. You know? But these lot, they didn't care, these new suppliers. They knew about us. But they're trash, just as trash as the narcissist is. They're just as trashy as the narcissist is. So understand that it's their loss. They walked out on you and left the precious jewel that you are. You're so rare. They will never replace you. They can't replace you. They won't be able to replace you. They won't find another person like you. They will search high, low, far, wide, all over the place to find a replacement. They can't find a replacement. This is why we get the Hoovers. This is why we get the stupid, weird temperament checkers Hoovers. The stupid, weird reaching out to us at stupid o'clock in the morning because they're in the bathroom when the new supply is there. And we get all these stupid, like, bullshit things where they try to throw our way just to check our temperament. Just to check if we're still there, if we're still plugged into them. You see? So make sure you don't let these people back in your life. You know, make sure you don't want to rekindle with these people. If you let these people back in your life, it's dangerous for you. If you let these people back in your life, it's very dangerous for you. It's very, very, very dangerous. Because they will think in their head, oh, I cheated on you, I done this against you, and you just let me back. And then they're going to not even take it as they're not going to see your forgiveness in a pure way. They're going to see you, take you for a ride again. And you're going to go through a whole nother process. And that's a whole nother video topic if they do that. So don't ever want to try rekindle with these people. Don't ever want to rekindle. And if they do want to try rekindle with you and they do reach out, don't hold back. Tell them about themselves. I know they always say silence, no contact is the best remedy. But you can tell them about themselves to make them know about what they are. You know, I've done it. I've done it in many a time. I've done it to make them know. And it's not like they're going to continuously pursue, but they'll be left in the world knowing that they can't have someone like you back in their lives. And that's all you need to happen. You know? As I've told you many times, I've had hoovers after 4 years, after 6 years. This person, how old was I then? I was a lot younger then. This person hasn't grown. This person hasn't evolved. The one in my life hasn't evolved like I've evolved. They haven't grown spiritually as I've grown spiritually. They haven't developed. You see? They haven't developed. They haven't grown. They've stayed in the stagnant, same mind state that they was always at. Just like the ones in your lives haven't grown. You know, some of us have been out of this for a few months. Some of us have been out of this for a few years. Regardless, we've grown, we've developed, we've bettered ourselves. These lot haven't been bettering themselves. So just understand the main thing and the main theme of this video is they walked out on you and it's their loss. And they'll face, they will face the reality of it every single living, breathing moment of their day with the mistake that they made, and they'll live in regret. So anyway, thank you for watching today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can find the link in the description box. And if you'd like a one-to-one session with myself, you can also find a link in the description box. Currently, I've got the secondary channel, the spiritual channel. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.